Yo, what's good? What up, though, YouTube? It's your boy Imawarefam. Welcome back to the channel where the grind is real and the dynasty we are building today will start from the ground up. That is right. Today we are doing something major. We're diving into the NCAA 26 brand new Delaware Blue Hens Dynasty Challenge. That's right. We taking the underdogs, building them up brick by brick. What my boy Franklin said, brick by brick. I'm just kidding. And going all the way to the top. I'm talking natty, baby. Natty, baby. No cheats, no shortcuts, just raw strategy, no simming, grit. It's that I'm aware fam hustle. And we about to get this project started today. So let's go. And before we get started, go ahead and drop that like and that sub. But without further ado, let's get this thing rolling. So, if you don't know what the challenge is, the Delaware Dynasty challenge is, Delaware actually came out to the media and said, "Hey, if you guys can turn our team into a national championship team, we got some rewards for you." And I'll explain some of those rewards later. But this is what we do. So, you take the Delaware, I think they're the Fighting Hens or some Blue Hens. I think they're called something like that. Yeah, the Blue Hens. And you start from the very bottom. No high recruits, one star team. I think there's only two teams who are actually lower than the Blue Hens, technically, like in terms of like star rating. But without all that, you play every game, no simming allowed. You know what I'm saying? You take it and you win the national championship. I mean, we're talking this school is like at the bottom, as you can see here. I'm changing the coach's name right there though, but this school is the bottom. And if you can do so and you post it up on a reaction video, you winning the national championship, hosting the trophy and all that, you get some rewards from the University of Delaware, which include you having like coaches gear and you going on the field during a home game with a field pass, etc., etc. Some pretty cool rewards. I'm not specifically doing it for the rewards per se. I could care less to go to a Blue Hens game. Hey, this is no knock to you, Delaware. It's just too far, and I ain't got that type of time. But I am a very competitive person, and if you know, you know. And this is a very, very, very hard challenge to do it. So I've been told. And unlike others, I will be doing this on Heisman, the very hardest setting on NCAA, because, like I said, I'm crazy and I don't like to have fun when I play games. In this series, I will be recording some of the recruiting process that I do to kind of build this team up into a national championship team. And the scheduling changing that you see here, I'm going through and seeing what we got on the schedule. My schedule is not hard at all, as they are in the Conference USA, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think they are in Conference USA. So my schedule is not the hardest, so I have to insert at least one ranked team that I think I can beat. You know what I'm saying? So this is me going through, looking at all the ratings and the overall ratings of these teams, seeing which team is ranked that's low enough that I can at least have some type of competition with. Because NCAA did a good job of actually making it difficult to go against a five-star team with a one-star team and on Heisman, at least I should say, on Heisman, and making it like very, very difficult for you to succeed if you don't have that football IQ to win the game. So the team I actually ended up going with was BYU. I know they kind of 79, 79, 81, and we are a 67 overall team. It's just that was the lowest ranked team that I could find, one and two. I've played against BYU, against Kent State. I have a previous dynasty that I started, and in that same dynasty, I played BYU, so I kind of know how they play. At least in the first year, at least, I did the same thing, and it was a very successful strategy in the last dynasty that I ran. Just inserting those ranked players or teams every now and then to help boost my strength of schedule. Without further ado, I'm gonna give you guys a brush on how I do my recruiting, and it doesn't matter if this was a one-star team or a five-star team. I attack recruiting about the same way. The most important thing about recruiting in this game, what a lot of people don't really understand, is it's not necessarily your stars, it's your pipeline state. Now, Delaware doesn't really have a lot of like favor in the pipeline state category to any of these players. As you can see, most of their pipeline players that I'm gonna be recruiting are only a level one pipeline. But the way it works is if a school is, let's say you have two five-star schools, right? And both of them are pipeline states, but one is a level five on the pipeline state and the other one is a level two. That level five pipeline school is going to have more favor than the level two pipeline school. So it don't matter if you guys are both five stars. The one with the five tier pipeline is going to have more favor. That's kind of how they structured it this year. A lot of people don't really realize that, and they kind of wonder like, oh, why did I lose to this school? I've won like 18 games in a row, and I've had this and I got that, and I offered this and I hard sell that, and I sent the house, bro. It's because you were a one tier pipeline and that school had a 5 tier pipeline. Like, you can't get upset when you lose that battle. But now, as you can see here, I'm starting to go through some of these 2-star, 3-star, 1-star prospects, and I think I'm gonna focus on 2 and 3. But my main focus is to really attack those players that I do have a pipeline connection with, because I know I might have a better chance of scoring with them. And one thing I did differently on this franchise or dynasty, excuse me, is I usually start as a recruiting coach because recruiting is just such an important part of coaching, and I use my pre-order bonus that I got. Yes, I did buy the game early, and max out some of my stats because it makes recruiting so much easier when starting with a lower program. But just to make the challenge even harder, I did not start with a recruiting archetype coach. I actually chose the motivator type, which I don't know why I did that, but I did. And we're just gonna rock out from there. And I'm actually gonna shout out to my boy. Salute to the Sevens. He's on Twitch. Salute to the Sevens on Twitch, and salute to the Seven on PSN. Um, he actually gave me the idea to not start with a recruiting coach and hire other coaches that have that archetype, so you can still get those benefits while building up like your other archetypes on your main coach. So shout out to my guy. And what we're doing here is building our recruiting board right now with those same prospects that I was telling you about that we're targeting with the pipeline states. As you can see, I go over to the pipeline and I filter it and I see what recruits I actually do have an established pipeline with, which it isn't many because again, it is Delaware. And I I ain't gonna lie, before this year, I've never heard of Delaware. I didn't even know they had a university where you could play football. I probably would have sent my highlight tape there in high school and balled out, to be honest. But yeah, so just give me a little bit of our process here. And as you can see, we have a whole roster to fill. And it's going to be difficult because we are a lower tier school. And if you don't know, the lower your school is, the less recruiting hours you have. As you can see up there, we have 450 recruiting hours to start the season off. And when the season starts, we will be having um we will have less recruiting hours than that. I'm gonna keep all my bloopers and everything in here too. This is my first time doing the sound editing, so hey, drop the comments if it's a W. In the comments, put a W. If it's an L, put an L, and tell me to work on that stuff because I will work on it. But yeah, so we are targeting some of these players. I'm actually gonna skip through some of this, and I'll show you like the finalized one. So you see, so type of here players, now you're gonna see me going through and offering scholarships to some of these players. We'll see how I'll start to build my just team. Because we are at that lower tier school again, we want to make sure that we maximize our hours, and for the players that we are interested in, we want to go ahead and let them know we're interested because we won't be able to, you know, allocate that many hours to them as the season goes by because we'll only have 350 to go between 29 prospects. So we go ahead and offer everybody a scholarships. We scout on the way. It's just a strategy for myself that I found works. It's probably better strategies out there, but this is just how I'll do it, especially when I'm using a lower tier school. Now, if I'm at a 5-tier school like I don't know USC in my other franchise, then I definitely will be able to do a lot more. But we're not there. We're at Delaware. Bars. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what we're working with on our depth chart here. Um, there's a reason why the team is rated the way that they are on the game is because they don't have the best players. Now they're not the worst, but they're not the best. But I'm gonna make them look really good. That's my goal. And so you see, we got our quarterback here. We got some studs on here. I mean, Archfield Jr. He looks kind of tough. Like if I build him out, he can be nice. He's a 66 overall freshman, got decent speed. We just gotta allocate his skill points to the right area. And one thing that I did do in this dynasty is I turned off auto player progression where they put the points on there for you, and I'm actually going to build out my the team the way that I want them. Like if I want him to have a certain perk or a certain whatchamacallit, I'm going to use his skill points that he earned during the game and attach them the way that I want them to, so they can play how I want them to play. If that makes sense. But as you can see, we do have some pieces on the team that definitely we will be able to use and play with. And when you see the footage later on, you'll see that I actually target these players a lot, and they have some upside to them. It's going to be a long journey, I can tell just from the first game that we played. And we are now on game day week, and I want to show you some of the recruits that we did target. We weren't able to get, so we are going to remove them from our recruiting board and allocate those points elsewhere. Now, some of those recruits may have been recruits that we didn't have any pipeline with, or it just could have been deal breakers. You never know until you go into it. But I'm gonna go ahead and just get to some of the game footage because we got a lot of game to go over. And we are here, as you can see, with the yellow wingtip they stole from Michigan. No, I'm just kidding. We went with the all blue unis to this game. You know what I'm saying? Blue man band. I don't know, whatever. We gonna think of something to call them uniforms or something like that. But we went with the all blue, had them dressed in the all white, and we are going against the Judicials, which, if you have played, you know that some of these teams have their set offenses, and theirs happen to be the flex bone, which I hate playing against the flex bone offense in NCAA, especially if there's a user who actually knows how to use the flex bone. Is actually a very hard offense to stop, and they actually made it a lot more difficult to stop on this NCAA because of the ways you can run your offense and use the read keys and blase, etc, etc. But they do have coaching settings that you can adjust. That'll, like, for pitch key and dive key, option key, RPO key, pass, blase, the whole nine, which I love that they added that to the game because it makes it so much easier to play defense against these guys who spam bubbles and everything. Even though you see me getting ready to run the RPO right here, it just is only due to personnel reasons. I don't really like running the RPO offense. I'm more of a I guess you can say pro style spread to say the least, and that's just how I like to rock on my NCAA. And as we show you the footage, I'll show you the full footage from the first drive. You see we getting loose with the quarterback here. Nice little read option play here, and I'm gonna start to, I guess, open up a little bit, test out some of these receivers, and test out this running back to see what they can do to make this team a successful national championship team. That logo is kind of sick in the middle of the field though. Like, there's a mean looking duck, or I'm sorry, hen. We get a nice little 15-yard run here, 16-yard run with our running back here. And this first drive, man, it went really well for me, man. Like, I was gelling, I was meshing, you know what I'm saying? Everything was hitting, I was hitting on all cues. But I don't know if it's just for me, but is it, like, hard to win against Heisman teams in the second half of the game? Like, they just turn up. Like, drop something in the comment section. Like, whenever you play on Heisman and you have a really good start in the first half, the second half they just come out unstoppable, like making every pass and like just not dropping nothing, juking your jock strap off you and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it could just be me. I could just be bad at the game, but I doubt it's just me. But here we have, we getting some movement down the field. We got 3 first downs so far. So, so far so good. Everything is everything, you know what I mean? I'm liking how we running right now. Now, disclaimer, we are going against an FCS East team, the Judicials, okay? So I'm not really, too pumped about them, taking everything with a grain of salt because I know this team is not really challenging, you know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, we getting some movement, man. And also, another disclaimer, I don't usually use coaching suggestions, but I have no idea what playbook this is, and that's kind of what makes this challenge even harder for me. It's like I chose just to stay with the defensive playbook and the offensive playbook that was default to the Delaware Blue Hens. Usually I run a 4-2-5 defensive scheme just because that's just like how I can operate. I like the teams that run the 4-2-5 and that have the players that fill in those roles. So that's what I know. That I ran that last year, and I'm gonna run it on this one. It's just I like that defensive scheme. Look at that. That tight end I think is gonna be a big player from you on offense. He is a stud. He's gonna have some plays throughout the game that you'll see, and you'll be like, yeah, he's gonna be it. He's gonna be it. But on offense, I'll go with Oregon State's offense. At least for now, until I find a different playbook that I like. But when I'm in the playbooks that I know and the playbooks that I like, I definitely go throughout my formations and my plays, and I pick them manually. I kind of don't really do coach suggestions per se. And as we approach the touchdown, the end zone, as we approach the end zone, we get into some of our red zone offense here, and you can see we got a little snafu here. You know, 3rd and long, 3rd and goal. You know, we got 2 plays to get into the end zone. We got our 3rd and 4th down. I'm a big fan of Dan Campbell. Yeah, I am a Lions fan. Yeah, I am from Detroit, but I've always believed that you got 4 downs to score a touchdown or 4 downs to get the 1st down. Like, might as well use them all. I hate punting the ball. So you rarely see me punt. Well, actually, in this game, I punted a lot. I punted a lot in this game because the Hens are kind of butt. But we get open here with our other tight end, our 2nd string tight end, and he goes ahead and catches our 1st touchdown on our 1st drive of the season. So I'm pretty pumped. We're looking like we got some type of offense that we can move around with, and everything is everything. Okay, so now we getting ready to get on our show you off our defense and how we balled out this game. I will say that our defense definitely stood out this game over our offense. There were a lot of drives that were dead because still trying to get used to the players on here, what we can and cannot do quarterback wise or receiver wise, who can catch how far and how fast they can run and the amount of time before I get sacked. So we're gonna come out on defense here in a 3-3-5. That's just what they run. I don't personally like it. Again, I would like to run the 4-2-5. But here you see the Judicials run a flex bone offense, triple option style, Navy, Army. What other school is kind of like known for that? Whatever school is known for like the triple option flex bone. This is what the Judicials run, and again, I hate it. But we actually played pretty well against this defense on the 1st drive here, as you can see, 3rd and long here. And usually on 3rd and long, we see, oh, they're going to pass. But in the flex bone, you never know. They could do a triple option play and, gouge you for 18 yards. But here they decided to actually go for a quick pass, and we were able to stop them short the 1st down. So, but from here on out, I'm just gonna, play some highlights for the clips, plays that stood out, some of their plays that stood out, some of my plays that stood out, and then we can debrief after the game on what players are going to be good for me this season. So here we see that they might be in a cover 2, and we changed our defensive, we changed our halfback, because the wear and tear system on this game is actually a lot more detrimental to like your players and how you play your play style. So I like to keep my players, like my key players, fresh and everything like that. So every now and again I'll swap them out and switch them here. So we of course went 3 and out on this drive here, and it led us to punt the ball. Here coming up shortly, you can see that we made our first big play of the game. I was pretty pumped when we made this play. Eventually, I think what I ended up doing, and I don't think I may not have the clip in here or not, but we ended up making our coaching keys for the pitch, dive, and RPO. Everything pretty much, we wanted the quarterback to keep the ball because we knew he was going to fumble. And sure enough, he fumbled. We took it back for a touchdown, and now we're up big 13-0 going into I think it's the second quarter. I'm going into halftime. This running back that they had was actually pretty decent. Like, if he was in the transfer portal, I wouldn't mind picking up that number 7 right there. He had a decent bit of speed about him, and he would run people over. So here's one of those plays where we had the QB just go roam free, and this is an example of what I was talking about. Like, I just knew this quarterback would fumble. As you can see, he had a big gain, and boom, we come and lay the wood. Nice hit stick there, pops the ball out, we get the ball back. Our defense was really balling in this game, and I loved it. And here goes number 7 again, out here making me look silly. And I told you, he was pretty good. Like, he don't got to start for no reason. As you can see right here, we have another turnover. I don't know about y'all, but they definitely made it harder to get user picks in this game. I kind of like it because there were some unrealistic picks going on in Madden and NCAA. So the fact that you kind of got to have your head around and you be in phase in order to get an interception is kind of real, to be honest. I mean, you don't see too many, like, you know, no looker interceptions. Here we have our freshman in here. One of our followers said that, you know, we should throw him in and give him some PT, so we gave him some burn. Of course, that play didn't result in much, but later in the game, he ended up throwing some dots and stuff like that. He's definitely going to be one of those players in the next season if we don't win the Natty, and this one that he will be better, because I think I'm going to throw him in every now and again to get him some XP so I can build up his stats and stuff like that. this route right here. This guy, LeBoy, he became my favorite receiver. Ooh, look at that route. He cooked him. Had him touching dirt. I love it. Here I was just you know, trying to do an audible, doing the most in the end of the game. Really, I should have played smart football on the clock out. Blase, blase. Bad read, bad call, bad hot route, pick, and here they go with the ball back. as you can see here, we late game and they started to turn up, bro. Look, back shoulder, back behind, cross play pass completed, no huddle. And it was just big chunk after big chunk after big chunk, man. Like, that's the thing I was talking about earlier. Like, sometimes on Heisman, like, you get late game, and especially if you're playing against a really good team. And I think I was actually distracted on stream on that play. That's why I user it so bad. But by the way, yeah, I stream on Twitch. Same name, Imawarefam. You can find me on Twitch on the purple app. But yeah, look, they just started turning up, bro, and like just big play after big play after big play, man. And the worst part about it, I thought this was gonna be an interception right here, because I'm like, oh, this is me. Look, I'm in phase, and I was like, give me that. Psych, head tap. I got head tapped by a FCS East team. You gotta love to see it. You have to love to see it. So the score at the end of the game definitely didn't, they call it what, garbage. This is garbage time touchdowns, Here you see, like I said, this is garbage time. Like, I throw a ridiculous pick, just a bad play on my part. And I think coming up here shortly, we end up just getting the ball back here on the next play, I believe. If not this play, then a play following. I think it was a fumble or something like that. Yeah, right here. Okay, so we got the strip sack, and we just kick the ball about. We score. We pick it up. We do end up scoring just because I was so pissed that I got head tapped by that guy. I was like, you know what? Nah, I got a vendetta. I got a vendetta. And just like that, we are now one game closer to our national championship. I know even if we go undefeated on this season, there's not a good chance that we'll make it to the national championship game unless somebody in the Conference USA, like Liberty, ends up being ranked during the season, maybe like, I don't know, like 18th or 19th, but still a slim chance of us making it to the Natty in our first season. But overall, we had a pretty solid first game. Had some snafus, some bad plays, some picks, some bad decisions and stuff like that. Look at that freaking play right there. The head tap was insane. But stay tuned for episode 2. We will be going over our second week of recruiting and how we decided to pick the players that we pick and what type of offense we're trying to build. So yeah, man, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, sub, and follow me on that purple app at Imawarefam. And if you want to see these videos live, I have like live commentary and everything like that during the game, and why I'm picking the play that I'm picking, and just shooting the crap with with my followers and stuff like that. So definitely pull up and give me a follow on that app too. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this series. And if anything that you guys want to see or more information or details on like through this process, please drop a comment in the comment section and let me know, and I'll be sure to implement it in the next episodes. But thank you for tuning in.